Hey, we made it live on waiting for live video. How can you be waiting? It's live. Problem. It's funny because, as you guys know, I am learning how to do these things with all of this pandemic. It kind of screws everything up, even though it says Zoom. I shouldn't have to, but we'll look. No. Oh, that doesn't matter either. It's caught up. There's not much I can do. Let's try it again. Oh, nope. Yeah, I can't open it that many times. But obviously, it says I... What's happening here? So, some of you are... See, now it shows there. I think it gets caught up when it says try live producer. Even though it says it's supposed to do this. Okay. We're not going to be able to... Okay, I'm just going to have to give it up on all the other things. I'm just going to... So we're going to have to go back to Fudge Monkeys.
That's a new one.
All that fucking typing, for what reason? Yeah, it's not going to let me. One more time. One more time. Sounds like the wave on your end. Ah! Okay. I think we might have liftoff. So, that YouTube... People are not getting it together. Okay. One more time. Hang in there, people. I will start again. This better work this time. Off. Start again. This is, I know that I'm not supposed to have dead air. I know I'm supposed to be talking. It says that I'm live right now. I don't know how to say I'm not live. I'm alive. We will have readings. So some of you that are waiting, you just go ahead and email in. We will get to those. That is not working. That is freaking unbelievable. Okay, we'll have to stop the live stream because it's just not working. Go back over. Everybody's looking. Where is she? Where is she?
It's working.
Huh?
Main page is working. Both video and audio.
I couldn't see it. It doesn't, I can't get in. So it's working right now.
It was.
I got nothing. Okay.
I got a big Brenda and I got a little Brenda.
Well, that's good to know. Share on the page I'm in. Okay, here we go again. This time I'm going to go here, and then I'm going to go here, and I'm going to skip that. Oh, it worked earlier. Live preparing. Well, all you wonderful people, if you get to see me, that's great. See, how can it? Doesn't even say it now. Why type all that beautiful stuff I did yesterday, which was terrible video?
It says meeting streaming live on Facebook.
Well, hello. I have no idea because I can't see myself. So I have no idea if it's even working. Isn't this just grand? And that's where a lot of people are wondering probably where I am. Somehow with this pandemic, it screwed up everything. And because of it, I have no idea what I'm supposed to be doing. Let's just play. Okay, I can always put this one up. That's what I'm going to do there. We'll get to the readings. Spirit will show you that it's not about losing your shit. It's about figuring out and you tuning in and what would Spirit do? What would Spirit do? Well, I think Spirit would have a good old time trying to figure this out right now. But it is. It's about how do you work with stuff in your situations? What do you do? How can you do it? Can you do it? And Amy better control her little volume button unless that was me. That me?
No, that was Betty sharing.
Hey, I mean, it actually is working. Well, I don't know if I need any of these things open. Did I just erase myself? Oops, confused. So, anyway, please be patient with me. I know I'm going to learn to talk, Amy, while I'm busy sometimes because I can't do this and function. Amy got a new deck of cards, people.
I did.
I
The
think,
Witch's Kitchen.
you know, what's funny is you can only hear, well, maybe you could see her. I have no idea how even that works at this point.
I think when I talk, I pop up. I'm not.
I don't know. We're up there now together. Okay, so everybody, look at Amy. She showed me this. I thought she got a book. It wasn't a book at all. It was a deck of cards.
Deck of cards, yes.
I began to laugh.
Well, I mean, yeah, it does kind of look like a cookbook.
That's what I thought it was. Really did.
So and each card has, okay, I'll pull this one. This is lemon.
That's beside the point. Okay.
Okay, I'll look up and see what it says.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. Lemon, bitterness. Sunny skin, pretty flower, beware. My juice taste is sour. Bitterness will zip your zest. Cleanse and heal your best. Magic is worked with harm to none. So might it be, this is done. Recommended recipe, cleanser for cleansing, deodorizing, removing stains. Add lemon peels. Sit for 2 weeks in a dark place. Strain the mixture and pour the cleanser into a spray bottle. And you can add rosemary or thyme in the mix for it to have a nice, leave you feeling sour. Time to suck it up. The emotional hurts and
I don't know. I think it was a dramatic pause there. It's where the
No,
man
it's
talking
right.
that road. Welcome to the show. I'm Brenda Jean Power, and I'm a medicine woman. So Amy has been trying to entertain everybody with her new deck of cards, which are cool. And you wonderful Ronnie Aldridge that's in YouTube land, thank you very much for being patient. We've been on for about 14 minutes, but that's okay. We got the show on the road. There's all of the different apps really don't work properly. It's like, oh, we work here. No, you don't. You work here. No, you don't. We work here. Hey, look, it works. Get on live. No, you don't. So what things? I had it working the same. So it's all about change. How can you handle it? Most of the time people would just go, oh my God, it's fed up. You know, what other actions would we actually act like when we were completely upset by the whole thing? Okay, what do we do? And that's what you have to pay attention to. How do you act? How do you see others act? Are you? This new era of time is something that we've done in the past, but it has been basically kind of, they're saying the word rewritten so that the aspects of both yin and yang start to work together in like a figure eight. We have separated them for so long, and you can look at that through history. What did we do with men? What did we do with women? Men weren't supposed to feel. Women weren't supposed to be vote. Men are supposed to be constantly in charge. Women are supposed to be. It was always as black and white, and eventually we've, had to take back our power, and then you have all of these things through history. Men were beginning to be okay to feel, and then you had a metro where we think something's lacking, or oh, you're going to be an old maid. You know what? That's not a bad term. If you really don't want to get married, you don't have to. Same for having kids. We were always told that the next logical step is that we're supposed to. We have to. That's all there is to it, people. That's not the case. Constructive criticism is basically leaving what you got left happens to be the feedback, spiritual feedback. It is helping people to see things without having to go into extreme judgment. It's helping people to move in that direction that they don't have to live out two sides of their mouth. And what I mean by that is I watch a lot of people run around talking about spiritual things, buying crystals, doing this and that, and then turn around and bitch about people and say, oh my God, get judgment, judge themselves. Self-talk is nasty. Oh, you know what? They didn't show up the way I wanted, therefore I can hate them. It's like, that is not who we are becoming. That might have been who we were, but that's not really what your authentic self is about. So I launched a new membership thing, and Spirit said it's time. It's time for this tribal. It's a tribal unit to help. There is a space of how you can do it too. I'm nothing special. I just happen to be the one that raised their hand to say I'm going to bring this information through. And I've dedicated myself for it seriously for 30 years. Here we have some students that says I'm jumping on board. Spirit says it's time. And I'm thinking, okay, no prep work. Fine, let's do this. Information and applying it. And this is where the rubber meets the road. It's taking and learning the gloss to be victimized. Learning information so that you can actually resolve to evolve. So there's a lot of things going on, and I helped people. Okay, who wants a healing? So then I would just say, okay, you have to think this left brain, and then you rub these points, acupuncture points on the left side only, and watch what it does to you physically. Now it works with headaches, it works with emotional upsets. And over time, you are accumulating the ability to heal yourself because the body's going to start saying, oh, you mean I can hold this pattern instead of this negative pattern? And it is, yes, you can. So we are moving in that direction that we're meant to be moving in, and we can do it in leaps and bounds. People want fast turnaround. You're going to get it. People don't think you can. But you can. Now, the toughest part is when you have to go through the dark night of the soul. And that's what we've been in a long time. We've been asleep. We're waking up. We have cracks in our and light comes through to some degree, not to be just human, but becoming a spiritual human. So we're learning how to mature that spiritual aspect of ourselves. It has nothing to do with an intelligent quotient. It's about, can you grasp the idea of waking up and knowing when you're judging, knowing what really words mean, and that emotionally you have more than just 5 emotions. You have actually something that's very in depth. Can you take that knowledge and dive deeper into realizing that when you throw how you become who you are today actually was shaped around those areas? But you get to, in this day and age, you get to raise your inner child. You get to help that inner child to learn how to resolve, how to look at those emotions instead of going, oh my God, I want that particular outcome, me, I got to control everything, me. You can move beyond this. So I'm not going to go in full detail, but the website shows you detail of what all of it is, and you get a hell of a deal because for $36 a month, you get quite a few $100s worth if you actually attend it all. I put a semi value as if I would say, okay, if this is what I'm going to do per class is $33 per class. There's times it's should be more than that, but because of the pandemic, because of what's happening, it is very important to make it affordable for people that are growing. It's very, 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 very important. So I'm happy to have all of you here this morning, and I appreciate it. Now, one of the things that Spirit's doing is if you hit the love button, you can get a card. If you share, and if we can see it, you can get a card. So we don't know if Spirit picks it. And so far, it's been quite a few people that have been getting a card. But I get all these people going, oh my God, it was perfect time. I one of them, I was just thinking this. Thank you for confirming it. So there's a lot of decks that we use here, and they can be enlightening. Now, when you allow yourself to ask the main question, why is this happening in my world? Do I really have to do this again? What's going on? You can learn how. My regular page. Thank you for having me into your mornings. So now the time change is there. So I have no idea what time it is for any of you guys. So if you could shout out what time it is, shout out to, where you're from. Rara, love that. Paying it forward. Yes. Oh, yes. We had speaking of that, Rach, yes, okay, because one person paid for one, and I think, was there 4?
There were 4, yeah.
Okay, so wonderful people have said, hey, I know that people would benefit from this, and they paid for another person to get it. They just said, here it is, donate it, pay it forward. So we ended up picking 4 people yesterday to get their readings. It was wonderful. So it's about 7:30 in the morning, about 8. Okay. Wow. So it's early for you guys. Yes. That has changed. That's why I Thursday, trying to figure it out, because Thursday I usually do it at 1 p.m. my time, is going to make it so that my show is later in the evening. Half of you will be like, it's midnight, I'm tired. So I might bring that back to 11. And so 2 hours earlier, so that you can feel like you haven't missed out on anything. Can't come on until afterwards, then, I'm always on 2 or 3 hours anyway, so that works. So how can you really pay it forward for me for all the stuff that you receive? Well, again, sharing is great. Here's the other thing you can do. You can go over to YouTube, find me, okay, and Medicine Woman Solution, and you literally will see me in yellow. You can begin to thumbs up. You can actually type a comment, and I have tons of videos that you can help to comment. Thumbs up. So that would be a big plus. Pay it forward. Share that information. See if people want to come into the membership. That would be great too. There's a lot we can do. Yeah, Spirit can help you see the past. And I've been evolving into something else, because now my Thursdays, which are still healing, now all those Oh, that's why Betty says, I got up at 5:30 instead of 7:30. And devoted. She's devoted to herself. She's moving mountains. And what's beautiful is that the students for the pilot class have now become interns, and now they get to internalize everything, and now they can start to talk their walk and walk their talk, so they can walk sacred, talk sacred. So they're beginning to learn. Hey, Catherine, how you doing? And it's important. And so if you want to be in that tribal unit membership, you know, it's got decent prices. You just go ahead, and if you go to the web page, it will actually show you the steps that you need to take in order to get to join. And we have, with the tribe, there's one thing that there can be a bunch of surprise things. And you know what? I'll show you the pictures sometime when I get it up there, and you'll see what we're saying. We may have a clue finding.
Like
sort of, yeah, maybe that's it. But so we're trying to figure out, well, he's got it down. I just have to get it through here. So we're going to make it fun. We're going to allow ourselves to make it fun. Now, I find that interesting that even though I say pin video, and as soon as she speaks or make a noise, she'll appear. Now, that's very interesting. It's not a big deal, but how in the world? Huh.
Scavenger hunt, Betty.
That's it. I knew it. Yeah, I knew one of you wonderful people get it. You just can't do it. We can't go back there. We have to discover ourselves new. And that is, all of a sudden, it's because everything has changed, and maybe that's the feeling you're all feeling. And so if you have any questions, keep moving forward. Yeah, we will do that together. Growth can be uncomfortable. Absolutely. That, yeah, like with the group, if you've in the group, you're going to be able to talk to the intern. For this little monthly cost, it's not that much, but you get a lot out of me. What they're there for is a 24 hours, 7 days a week, which we have some people in Australia, and we have some people in the United States. So, you know, if people have a question, it has to be approved. It just can't be thrown up there. And if it can't be answered, I think we can tell you why. If it can be, then, if they can answer it, great. If not, I will answer it. So they won't be left out there alone, because they are being guided to help them to do what? To learn how to walk their talk. That means you have to decide what a spiritual mindset is. What is an ego mindset? Learning, when people say, that's wonderful. So how's everybody? You know, James, I'm assuming that I pray anyway. You know. So I'm looking at, that's my tane downward. Again, they're not coming back. I often thought, what do you spiritual mindset word? Yes. So the teaching aspect, that's going to be left, because we're going to have classes and stuff to look at life differently. Has that helped at all? Because I have done many, many, many years of that feeling with the pictures. And when that happens, and if you can duplicate that feeling when you are giving and receiving, it's not able to go into the void. What do you mean by that? So is this two separate minds? Yeah. So be careful. I mean, you can be happy. The shame and the brain. They said that it's a default. I'm thinking, what's wrong with me? So even if you're being in gratitude and you've got a feeling, you have a picture and you can apply it, it is in those 41 thoughts per minute that you sit back and you relax, or you're watching TV, that's where they're saying you have to pay attention. That's where you should be applying it. Since you can't really focus, yes, are saying that, what's wrong with me? Now, again, these have always built around shame and guilt. Being a good child, how can you change the behavior? For such a long time, it's been misunderstood. They say they want. They have a particular outcome. Their behavior does not change because it's not designed to change. It's meant to really stay focused. How do you get that child to change? Well, depends on which avenue that child's doing. If they're so straightforward and scream their bloody head off, time out, give them the chance to calm down. They don't have the tools to cope, handle, deal, pacify. That's why you always have to give them a pacifier. That's why you always have to. But if you were to help that child learn how to balance the energies, like you go up to your child, and if you're like, if they could let you touch them, and you're playing in their field, or you've learned to go and rub certain points in their body, not so obviously, they may think that you're playing with them. The more you begin to help that growing brain, you can actually begin to help them become stronger. No, I don't have no data. I just know that when people are adults and they're standing there depressed or pissed off or spinning out, and I go and I rub those points, how amazing they'll change, like in a couple seconds, and then a couple minutes, and then all of a sudden they're like, woohoo, they're back. It's always very, very important. We're talking about kids because you can be happy you got a child, but if you got those programs that are running, understand it's important that you don't want to pass down the shame and the blame and all that. But how do you get a child to learn? So it doesn't have to go through. I wanted children to learn so many things, but I didn't want them to go through the horror I went through. And I'm like, oh, so that's interesting, because what was really bizarre to watch this. I don't know who I'm taking on or what's happening, but children are going to grow up and sound just like you about your mom and dad. Those children are going to grow up. Now, with this new era, you help them to stop looking at a particular outcome and look somewhere else. I used to use sleight of mouth, and one of the things is that, like, my daughter would fall and look like it was going to hurt herself. And I said, oh my gosh, did you see that elephant trip you? And she'd be about wanting to cry, and then she had to think about it. It took her mind off of it, and it went into a different direction. Like, there's no elephant, Mom. And or they'd go to pout, and all of a sudden they got their lip out there. Oh my God, if you keep that lip out there, an elephant's going to come by and poop on it. What? So, and of course they don't fall for it. Well, didn't you know spiders like to land on the lips? But it's about taking them and not letting them just run through it. Oh my gosh, did you see Batman just run behind the tree? It is getting that part of their brain to, wait, what? What was funny is because when she got older, she ran into the wall one time and she goes, ugh, and just walks away. She didn't cry. I'll just walk out in front of you. Did you just see that wall do that? But I didn't, as they start getting older, I go, okay, I guess we have to be responsible where we're walking, so we can stop blaming the wall. It's really us. And because you don't want them to sit there and blame other things but how do you get those children to change their mindset? When a child does not know how to calm down, that's where you're going to have to jump in and know how to do some tools. If you can get them to put their head down, then that can help bring the energy and the blood back up to them. And if you ever get into self-preservation, you go to any lengths to get it. And there's no consequences there at all. Yeah, and then when you look at your kids, it is how can, and here's the other part, Rick. You must have got that from your father, because it's amazing how you'll see that in that bloodline. And you're like, how in the world? It just always amazes. Like my sister never really saw her dad, but she had the same mannerism, ate the same way, same little temper, same little. And you're like, geez, oh, Pete, you think she was around in 20? If we begin to understand that it's not about, you have to, and one of the things I've noticed on the soul level, if you're going to fall apart, your soul's asking you, and here's the other part I learned from the super nanny, and that is do not give them eye contact and do not sit there and talk to them when they're in that state, because if they got you, they got you. They got you, and they'll just turn it around, and that's just who they are, and that's what they do. So when you went on the insights of your son, well, there's a lot of things that it says the unexpected in reverse. So what is the expectation? Does he know what's expected of him, or is there too much expected of him? Is there pressure somewhere that he, what's going on? And if you give me a little bit further, like, yeah, my son does this or my son does that, or insight on your son, tell me a little bit more about what's going on about it. Because I am very curious. I really am. It's still early in the morning. I don't know who's all here. Now, everybody should be home. They're probably all sleeping in because half of them probably don't have to work because of this pandemic.
Exactly.
I think I'd sleep in too. But Amy is so dedicated. That girl only got 4 hours of sleep. What happened? She's still here.
I'm still here.
Yeah. So this new format, I'm not even sure how it really is. We'll see what will happen in a minute. Hopefully it won't screw it up. I didn't share. I'm curious of how this is all going to play out. My grandsons are going really ratty and so much anger at the moment. Oh, I wouldn't be surprised about that either, because we wouldn't have matched that frequency and we wouldn't be able to be healthy and strong. Okay. When it comes to the light codes that coming on, and will people wake up? So let's go a little bit further and let's talk about one of the things that yin energy, even for all of you, the yin energy that's in us, where is it going? It's looking for universal freedom. And that's what the yin energy is doing. And that's really good. The universal energy, you will experience a great freedom. There are many doors that are opening. So as we begin to get that yin starts to have that freedom, let's find out what would stop that. Universally, what would actually stop that particular procrastination? We're going to have to address those that are not procrastinating from, how do you want to put it? They're moving forward, they're doing things, but are they doing it in yin? Okay. If they are procrastinating, what is it, the stuff that you need to get rid of? What do you need to get rid of? Because the procrastination is based on, from what I can understand, procrastination, but that's good. That's not. So let's talk more about the procrastination. So how does yin see procrastination? And that is, we're learning to call in people that are going to help us. And that's what she's doing, is looking for her mate. She's looking for that yang energy that's going to help her move forward. Now, if half of you haven't developed that ability, you bringing up old shit. And when it does that, then you have to decide how you're going to resolve that. And that's one of the things that we love to do. We love to help people resolve to evolve. We like to help people to have tools so that they can calm down. And the male side of it, the male, what is the male looking for? And according to the male side, it's the direction finder, the worker. The energy draws from logic and reason, a need for wisdom that can be seen, felt, and comprehended. Focused, dedicated energy, spirit in action, new structure in your life is called for renewed effort and clarity of purpose. So the male side of us is learning how to find a new direction, a new purpose in our life. The yin is learning to have that universal freedom. So it sounds like both of them who you are. A lot of us have lost the faith. And I'm not talking about going in and saying it's because of religion and it's the church. That's not what that's about. Okay. When you have somebody that's very headstrong, let's see here. So, have you asked for patience, Rachel? Please, Lord, give me patience. And the only way you get to learn that is by what it's not, so that you can practice what is patience. And I feel that in some way, that is where you need to begin, because when I ask spirit, I go, well, why is this happening? If I say, why is this happening to her? They're saying that you have to get over a certain amount of pride that was developed when you were 4 years old, that you had an auto response and you had to get defensive and you had muddled thinking. So you basically are looking at your mom and dad and whoever was in your space and deciding that this is how you're supposed to act as a human. You don't have to do that much anymore. And if you've felt like your pride was hurt and you remember it when you were a kid and you don't do it as much as an adult, understand those roots are there. Certain patterns that are happening again and again for a very specific reason. That's what we have to pay attention to. Now, when I look a little bit more, that determination, that again, that particular outcome, that determination of the headstrong, is that he doesn't know what to do with that lofty energy. Now, what's very fascinating is that I'm wondering if he's ever come in as a boy before, because the testosterone, when they start to come in, when he gets older, is going to be, I've watched somebody in my life, and as they got hormones, they didn't know what to do with it. They were quiet people, and then all of a sudden, they had gotten very angry very fast. Things where they kept held in, they let it out. If help develop them, and if this determination, now how could she help? How could she help? Let me ask you, have you ever seen your son feel like he was irrelevant in the conversation? Irrelevant. I'm just curious of how you looked at that. Okay. I really am curious of how you looked at it. So when you're looking at this new moon, understand yin is trying to find the freedom. The male is trying to find a new direction. We're all on a reset. You are doing and asked to do the same. You're asked to go inward. Can you let go of certain patterns? Can you move forward in certain discovering who you are? James, you're meant to look at what you've suppressed. And you suppressed, and it says something about the nervousness. You have suppressed, I think a lot of it has to do with, how do you want to put it? Were you ever bullied? Is to let that go and notice that you don't need to respond to the bullies, and you can walk away, or you can change how you can call your energy back when a bully starts acting a certain way. And the bully aspect, really, you meant to see it, that pattern, and just say no. It comes to him. When it comes back to Rachel, I want you to understand. I'm not sure what's happening in your household. I just see criticism. I see there's a lot of negative emotions, negative mental talk. Yeah, he talks over everybody, trying to teach him to convert. Yeah, he's got a very, you're right, it is very strong. It's learning the importance of why. If he talks over because he doesn't feel like he's heard, or if he feels irrelevant, addressing it in a different way. Notice how you can make somebody feel important. How old did you say he was? Because you're showing a 5-year-old here that has an issue with not, he was made to feel irrelevant. And so towards himself, he's been trying to get that acceptance. Look, and so somehow he lost someone's attention. So still looking for that attention, still looking. This, I'm teaching people to take a look at that child part, and it's time to raise yourself. What I would say as an adult, though, is that you need to take and resolve how you feel like your brain is way over. The energy is way off. If you were to do some like source point healing, and what you do is that you think left brain, right behind. See, here's your big toe. It's in the inner leg. Go behind the ankle bone. You want to rub that point nice. And then you think left brain. And again, you only rub this on the left side. You don't go on the right. You're going to do the liver point, left side, left brain. And you're going to take the two and go straight down here between where you feel the two bones meet. You rub that 30 times. That's going to bring it up, not quite all the way. Then you need to go to, you see where that kidney is? If you could just, but on the inside foot, I need to make a website. I can't remember if I have it up or not. You can look up meridian source points, and you should see like this or this. I can't remember what you're going to see. But you're going to find some pictures, and you're going to do KD3, letters K and D and 3, BL64, and liver, which is LR3. That's for the left brain. Then you're going to have to balance the right, because the right is like, see, it should be 10. He's got it like 70. That's like super way over. So we got to bring that back, which means you're going to then think right brain only on the right side. And then you're going to work on the spleen. That's SP3. And that's on the inside of the big toe, right past the bone. You're going to rub that 30 times. Do you need a mag? No. Okay. And then again, right brain, right side, right there, this point right here. We're going to rub that, and that should balance it out. Will it be the same every time? Yes and no. Just because it can change if he starts to get corrected and the energy stay because he's developing. It may change right away, and you can start doing accumulation healing where he can start holding it longer. Okay? Understand you can balance this. You can balance this. When I know the adult, if they're being too headstrong, I'll just go up there and rub points, thinking they get out of that particular type of pattern, behavior, personality, temperament. I know how it feels like an adult. I know how others feel as an adult when you start to feel normal again. And even you're normal when you start to balance it and you're like, geez, I didn't even know it was out. Just imagine what it does for children. Like my daughter's 20 now, but it's like, I don't know if she knows how to go through life without balancing herself. It's like, oh, I'm off. Like she still asks me for help. Sure, here you go. She's thanks, and then she's off doing her thing. But the hormones are based on chemical peptides and those emotions. And when your energies are off, you become addicted to emotions. You become addicted, and those balance. I mean, the Source Point Energy Healing Tool does more than just that. It works on alarm points. It works on isolation. Works on all these different levels. And again, I'll eventually begin to teach that course so that you all can feel and understand it more in a better way. Now, do I take care of the lost energy feeling? So one of the things that with this membership is it's my discretion of when I want to use it, the different types of healing that can occur. Okay. What does that mean? Well, the different types of healing, it can be hope therapy, and it'll be done in groups. They're not single. You can pay for that. But it's referred to as kind of like what I just said with Rachel, but I'm going in slower energy. I'm not sure what this is about. But we can do rapid fire healing. Boom, 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 boom. And that helps out incredibly with people. Because you're doing the healing, I'm doing the guiding, and we can go through a lot. Hope therapy, I can give the points, you can hold them, and then you come back, so you're done, and you can. Why is Spirit doing this? Because there's too many people. What? Too many people what? Wow. They just said there's too many people going through karma right now. It's like they're on trial. It's a very interesting energy field because it's like all of a sudden it's like everybody's, let's say there's a noise across as I'm trying to talk, job to do. I feel like the other side is working extra hard to help those to stay on the planet and those that are ready to leave to help escort them, separating from the old to the new. And we're at a reset. I feel like everybody is trying to find their new identity, the new, okay, I can go with less. I didn't realize I could. I didn't even know I was going in that direction. And now I don't have to. You know, I really wanted to retire and now I can. It's like people that, because the old days was like, I have to continuously work at this job until I'm dead. Different direction. So this is a very bizarre feeling. I mean, I still have all the supportive energy, and it's actually increased. Now, I love what Betty said. Betty says, I feel such a difference after brain. I'm like, okay, I'm rubbing my points and finding out, oh, yes, now I can go back to sleep. And I've been sleeping, it seems harder or longer or deeper, but it feels really good. So I kind of like this. So now I'm going to ask Amy if there's any 1 minute that's there so we can work on this. Because even though there's people here, oh, now see, Rachel Lawson says she's ready. Now see, why didn't that work? Yes. Somebody okay, so an extra, oh, how sweet, Rachel. Oh my gosh. She says for Rachel Ray, rah, plus an extra 11 for somebody into live to receive a reading. So Rachel will go. And then after that, we have, click, come on, click. We have James. And then what we can do is that we can have the people in the room just tell me if they, they'd like to have their name, I would like a free, or, how do we want it? What, Amy, what should we say? So that people can let you know, so that they can put, so we have a pay it forward reading. It's beautiful. We love that. And that's what we're going to do. And so, Rachel, would you like to come on? I'm not sure how this format's going to work since it keeps jumping all over, but we will see what happens. So if not, Rachel, then you go ahead and you talk to me like this. That would be great. So yeah, she goes, are they moving into what people really want to do in life to give joy to themselves? Yeah, that's huge, Julie. That's huge. That's one reason why it's important you start finding your important. No, it's not. We set that up. Now notice the weird colors on my face now. My nose is looking like it's this. I would like to know who I'm taking on or what's happening. But Angela or Rachel, just tell me which way you want to do this. Like this, coming onto the show, that's the number. I got to get my thing fixed because this is ridiculous. But we still have the ability to take people. At least I think. We'll find out, won't we, Ames?
Yeah, but I find it strange if you have you pinned that I pop up.
Oh, I know. I don't get that either. But again, this is a different format. It's the live is going through Zoom itself. Zoom chose and picked up Facebook. But that doesn't help me because I don't know, because it says I'm supposed to be able to pin it. Now I've pinned it, but I think that's a joke because that feature's not working. Okay, so we are looking to see if there's anybody in the other room that want a free reading. We're watching you as well. Anybody in YouTube land, anybody in Medicine Woman Solution, you're more than welcome to say yes, please. And you can also be added to getting a reading, getting that free reading. Your name can be put in the jar and we can check that out. I do love the fact that Zoom can pick up this beautiful picture and it doesn't make it jerky or annoying. Let's see what she says here. Rachel, where'd you go, hon? I hope she didn't think I was gay. Maybe she already thought I gave it to her. I was just chatting. I just told my girlfriend yesterday that this time is the answer to my prayers. For every time she has said, if I didn't have to go to work, that is true. That is true. But he said, it is how we choose to see it. Yes, and that's what we're beginning to realize. Hey, Teresa, how you doing? I'm not sure what happened to Rachel. Maybe Rachel thought I was done. So we'll move on. If Rachel comes back on, we'll talk to her. We still have you to know whether you're here. He said he asked the question, and I'm going to go a little bit more with that because he specifically asked, oops, too many mice, not doing it right. So James, wondering what the universe has in store for the next few weeks. Okay, so specifically, James, this is what we're going to do. Very narrow and down into what's going on with James in the next few weeks. What do they have in store? What do they have in store? And so in this case, you're going to learn how to stop self-sabotaging. So you're going to see certain things so you can embrace the moment. Amy, if you could just set the time stamp if you can. Because everything's all different tonight. Okay, so I'm setting the timer. I'm assuming Amy's going to say yes to that timestamp, but it's about walking in and out of self-sabotage. You don't have to really be doing it anymore. And it is part of learning how to get out of your own way and noticing when your ego kicks in and starts to stop you from getting what you want. When you feel like you're going to lose somebody or that particular love, then you start to go into that fear a little bit more, which causes you to go into, I gotta, and you gotta do what you gotta do. That is self-preservation. I gotta say what I gotta say. So you're going to allow yourself which mouse is going to work? None. You're gonna so can you see when you self-sabotage? Because the more you can become aware of it, James, when you self-sabotage, the more you can stop, take your energy back and say no to some degree. The idea is that, so you saw that when you were a little boy, and when a change occurred with your mama and daddy and all of that, that was really devastating for you. And there was a part of you that just wanted things to go back because there was something that you didn't quite understand. As you're starting to shift, it kind of throws you off. It literally kind of throws you off to the point where you self-sabotage. You go into your head gets full. Now, James, what I want you to do, you understand your brain, your left side of your brain is way over, and your right side of your brain is not too bad, but your left hemisphere is really over. Well, I want to balance that, James. So I want you to take a couple seconds and, how do I feel? What am I emotionally feeling? What's happening? And when you do that, James, I want you to, we're going to think left brain. And you're going to then find this point on your left foot. And that's where your pinky toe is. Go right in the middle of the halfway between your foot. And right there towards the bottom, I want you to just rub that whole area about 30 times. By getting yourself back into the even keel of things. When you start to, okay, I'm doing this, oh, that's where I self-sabotage. Because I say that's easy for you to fly off the handle because you hate feeling vulnerable. Because you hate it, you'll actually begin to go into self-preservation. You'll start to try to avoid it. You'll start getting in certain behavior moods that you'll end up doing. So you just have to become aware of these little things, James. I'm hoping he's doing it, because next part, if you choose to do this, that would be, you think left brain and you grab your left hand and you do this point and you rub 30 times here. Again, assess how you're feeling. And then if I asked if he'd done this, where would he be? He was, get it down close. He goes into the feeling, if I can't figure it out. Then you go left side, James, and you think left brain, and it's this point right in the middle, and you rub this 30 times. Then your brain should start, yeah. And then what I want you to do is that I want you to assess how you feel. And then I want you to think towards self. And you're going to rub both left and right side of the inside. Here's your big toe on the inside, right behind the ankle bone. That's the kidney point. I want you to rub both of those. When you rub both of those, you will help yourself. You say here. Again, Spirit doesn't really let me down. It's just, there's so much going on. Amy, grab your chakra deck and shuffle until Spirit picks one and throws it down, and then you tell me which one it is. Because Oh, and besides, your new computer has a good mic on it, so I can hear all these little things you do. Just to let you know.
Wait, I muted.
Oh, I know, but when you're unmuted.
Sorry.
No, I'm just saying, like when before the show started, I could hear all kinds of, and heard that before. And then I heard you walking across your carpet or floor or whatever it was. I'm thinking, God, I can hear all our steps now. And I said, please, you're sensitive because I heard your belly gurgle.
Oh my God.
And I had my mic on, of course, or off, and so I was laughing, and then I didn't even know you got on, and I was walking past, and you said something to the cat, and I just about jumped out of my skin and said, "Somebody in my office!" And then I realized it's nobody, but it's Amy. It's just that there's no mice, there's no strange weird folk in your office. You're fine. Yeah, Julie says you can't even fart now. Yeah, I have a feeling. Yeah, I'd probably bust up trying not to embarrass you. But anyway, so Amy has something called insecurity. That would be about right. Then it says, is that red or orange? I can't say that.
Red.
So you're going to be looking at the matters of the heart. Oh my God! And it's going through the choices that people. Who are you going to be? Who you're not going to be? Okay, James, how do you feel? The insecurities. Wow. Julie. Do you see what Julie wrote? You just get thrown off. You feel a lot calmer. Yes. And that's important, James, to understand that. Now, I want you to feel this, knowing that that's not the other part of you is. Yeah, well, Amy can't be sneaky Pete. Now, normally Amy will sit there. She hasn't muted, do anything, and she can her house out. Damn, she's really good at that. Well, now the microphone is not. The microphone's tattling. Maybe I'll do something nice for her. Okay, we have anything news. Okay, so you can come on, Susan. We can do a healing, or we can do it like this, like I have been. But however you choose to do it. If you do come on here, you have to have Zoom. What I'm going to look at is that we're going to have a birthday. We're having a birthday. What are we doing? Yes. Treat yourself a certain way, not a healthy way, but you treat yourself in a certain way. It kind of puts your nerves on end, and it kind of throws you off. When I ask Spirit, you stay safe too, James. You keep checking in with me. I want to make sure you're all right, dude. I love you. Okay, here we go, Susan. As you step back and you look today and you think, have I grown from who I was yesterday? Have I got more peace, joy in my life? So you're asked to address, how do you handle peace, or when peace is upset? Because when peace is upsetting, ask, what is it that you needed to know? What is going on? So when I asked Spirit about this, they said, for your birthday, notice that you are moving out of, but you don't have to be the enemy. How interesting is that? Give yourself the chance to be more resilient, to move forward in what you want in life. Give yourself the birthday wish of getting rid of self-judgment, because they're saying that the self-judgment only holds you in fear. But if you start to remove it, then the fear will just start to disappear. It came in the upright or upside down position. So as you take this toll forward, they're saying that, so your third chakra, you're learning how to universally become. So you're moving into a more active yin side, and the projection. As our inner world creates our outer world, and you're beginning to look outside and you're thinking, how does my health, what does it mean to me? What's going on? So your soul says, well, one thing is that they want your health to improve, because really we're going back there again. You're moving out of where you have to become. Okay, so let's say people put you in a position. You have to do this. You have to do this. You have to do this, Susan. And let's say you have to become more bossy, or you have to act a certain way that you don't really want to be that behavior anymore. Spirit is saying you're starting to realize that, wait a minute, you guys want me to do the dirty. That one took me forever, I swear to God. But they would push me and they would force me. They would just get with it. And as long as I became the lofty person, oh, look, it was you. And I started to notice the pattern. That's what they're asking you to do. They're asking you to do that. So, Susan, what they want you to do is notice that you had a sluggish memory around 6 years old. And that's what you had to teach yourself to do in order to, I guess, play the role inside the home and how you're supposed to act and be as a 6-year-old. And you had to take action. And they praised you in some degree, and yet they criticized you in some degree. So you kind of found your place, that if I act this way and do this way, they kind of like it. And it kind of, helped you become who you are. But at the same time, really, certain attention you would have fear over, certain attention you didn't like. You have to notice this behavior. And it's that little bit of fear that causes you not to leave your comfort zone. Your comfort zone is now it's getting smaller and it's starting to feel uncomfortable. But you're also knowing that I really don't want to take that next step forward. But at the same time, Spirit is telling you, you can't fail. You literally can't fail. You need to get moving. You need to take that next step. And Spirit's got your back. I literally feels like Spirit got your back, because they said that insecurity, you don't have to believe it anymore. It feels like when people act that way, you would get insecure, and but I think they would make you feel a little bit insecure. You would contract your energy. So just start walking around and notice how people act. You're done taking and betraying yourself. You're like, no, I don't want to do that anymore. Everything. Yeah, well, there's just so many people. It's lagging on YouTube. Different formats all the time. Hey, Candy, how are you? All right, so let's take emails. Oh, wait, was there any? Well, do you have any more names? Whoever's just two? All right. Between the two people, if there's any more people here that wants to get a free 6-minute, somebody has donated and paid and wants to pay it forward, you can say, yes, please, and your name can go into a jar. Right now we have just 2 people, and we will look at the other rooms. And in the other rooms, if you, again, there is a up for grabs, is a reading. A free 6-minute reading. So if you want it, say yes, please. We're looking. And if you have, you can go ahead and let me know. And I then can, we can put your name in. Oh, good. Susan says that was a big help. That was good. So Amy will go through and look. All righty.
Ken White, he says, I have my house on the market. Do you know when it will be sold?
Wow, there's a lot of issues. There's an unfoldment with the spirit, with the way that the world's happening. And it's like, can you still sell during this time? And I don't think the universe is going to really allow this. So take the time and just be patient, because I feel like it could be a possible month that you could be shifting, but at the same time, there's a lot of unfoldment that we haven't seen yet that still are coming out, if that makes any sense. Next. Oh, we lost Amy.
No, you didn't lose me. So I wouldn't keep popping on.
Oh, on the logo.
I don't know.
Well, that's just freaky. Okay, bring back your face. At least people won't think my name's Amy. You know.
Okay. Alicia, and she says she was sorry that she missed yesterday's live. I did watch it later. I would be honored to receive a 1 minute from you, please, if drawn.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Look forward to working with you soon.
Awesome. You get charmed a lot. There seems to be a lot of charmed energy that, what do you mean by that? She takes it inward. And then what's she do? And then it taps into her arrested development. It's like a magic spell. It's like when somebody gives you a spell, put you under their spell, and, they promise you all these things and be stuck in what you call arrested development. And the best way to say it is that you don't.
Something that you need to know that you don't really know, and you hit the ceiling of that, and then you're like stuck.
It will feel like you're stuck. And it'll also feel like, it's like when you're having a fight with somebody and you I can't come with the word. And all of a sudden, they leave and you're like, oh, now I know what I want to say. And so it's like you haven't been able to learn beyond that point because there's an emotion, a behavior, something like that cause you to be stuck. Okay, so before we take any more 1 minutes, we have a Candy Boyer. And Candy, you are more than welcome. We can do it like this, or it works and doesn't work anymore.
Exactly. And I still only have 2 names.
Okay. Well, there was 3 because Susan. And then let's look over there. Okay.
No, I mean for the drawing.
We're going to find out. She's Candy. So tell me which way you want to go. Tell me which way you want to go. Do you want to come on? Do you want to do it just like this? And tell me what you like to talk about, because it is your money. It's your dime, as people would say. And let's see here. Here is fine. What do you want to talk about, Candy? What would you like to talk about? Very, very, very important. This is such a weird, this energy is weird. I mean, it's super freaky weird. I don't know how else to explain it. This is causing... I normally don't pause. It's throwing out protocol out the door. And it's like, okay, I'm just going to run with it. Miss Candy. What we're going to talk about is Spirit has... I keep hearing the word left. Left habits. You left some habits? No, the certain habits affect your left side of the body. There it is. And when energy seems to affect this right side of the body, you go into an auto. What do you mean? They said you become petrified. I go, well, what meridians are involved in that? And they says, well, your bladder meridian, which then becomes Complex. Well, I imagine so. What else? I feel like my foot doesn't want to move. I feel like I'm stuck. And it's so bizarre because it's just like I'm stuck in cement, my left part of my body. Now, my right feels free to move. My left feels like it's frozen. And I'm like, well, go give me more information. And they said, okay, we'll do that. They said there's a lot of times that your eyes will drop down to the lower right and you'll drive yourself into this, like, you'll feel it. You go into this, like, insane feeling, this, but it's an emotion. Then you drift in it and your body then begins to feel, and your mind, you're not even aware that you're feeling, and you will feel this physical energy. Okay, I'm like, tell me more. And they says, well, it's a habit. So it's one of the habits that you have. Still need more. It has to do with your will to live. And I said, okay, what does that have to do with it? Is she connected? Yes. Is anything here? No. Go on to the next one. And they said, well, it has to do with the things that are very complex, and it has to do with your nerve supply. Oh, so a certain organ gets played involved. What organ? The large intestine organ. You have to drive down, get back into a dogma way of feeling, and you have these inherited limited beliefs. It has to do with beliefs with money, and it has to do with work. So a belief about money and work. So these, in, like, for instance, you work until you earn that gold watch. You stay at one place because that's the right thing to do. That's not how this day and age is. It's yours. No, if I don't do what people want, then they have this grievance with me, and I don't know how to handle it. Is that true, Candy? Because if that's true, to make the hard decision. I don't want that anymore, because by having it in there, it kind of puts you in a state of feeling feeling wounds. It goes back to what I said, how you feel something, and you feel, you drop your eyes down to the right side and you begin to feel it, and then feeling it all of a sudden becomes, it just sweeps your way, and then your body starts, what you have to do, Candy, this is what we have to do. Then I feel like in the relationships that you're in, are you compared? Are you compared to the point of, that's interesting. They're showing both. Candy, have you ever said, oh, hey, Candy, why don't you just be more like, and then you don't, then there's the other opposite, which I don't understand for you. I don't know if you witnessed it, but it was like, hey, Candy, you're just like your sister, so you're like, why can't you be more like, and stop being such like, can you see the two? I'm like really confused, and I don't know if it's because you got confused. He is saying, that's what your body's doing. I'm literally feeling it, but my left side is like, it's just so weird around this auto response. And again, they want you to go into that tough decision. Excuse me, because it really affects your it affects the digestion, the elimination system. Okay, it really affects it on a deep, deep level. Okay. There's some tough roads. Now, one of the things that I do help people to do is when they do have a private reading, we go in and we start pulling out the negative emotions that cause you to do that. We start helping the body release out those, the toxins, the patterns. Are there on that? Let me know. Okay, Miss Aimster. So go ahead and give me the 1 minute reads. Hey, Tammy.
Vicky, she says, read me, baby.
Like a book? What chapter are we on right now, Vicky? Before we go any further, Candy said, so I want to let go and do my own thing, but I feel drawn back to what my family wants from me. Yeah, and that's the thing is that you have, when people, you like, they give you that look, or they give you that certain cue to behave a certain way. And I want you to call your energy back. You also are going to need to do cord switching with, I don't know, if a very strong woman. Now how that goes. So do a cord switching, get the energies exchange, allow yourself to not be stuck in a state where the Vicky's reading. And then Michelle has paid and she will be next. Miss Vicky, let's look into body talk. We need detail, her energies. In your occiput part of her brain, it has to do with you cannot tolerate what? You can't tolerate. When that rhythmic imbalance occurs, then what happens? Then it trips an active memory and then your belief system. And then, it's a past relationship. A past relationship. So, so then you go back into the cycle. Very interesting. So become aware of it and then use some tools on that. So it came to my address. So Michelle Peterson. Let's find out where Michelle is at. That would be good. Michelle. Hello, Jennifer. How are you?
Your main page, I believe.
Okay, and then I see a Marie Santiago. Again, if you're here and you want a reading, you will get read. Send it to the email. If you want to pay for a 6-minute reading to get more in depth, you're more than welcome to. And I'm looking for Michelle Peterson. You're welcome, Candy. Michelle Peterson. Where is Michelle? All right, give me one more 1-minute read. Oh, Vicky's up there. Give me a 1 more minute read. So then until we find Michelle.
Angie.
Okay, so just name Angie, huh?
It's Alan.
Oh, yes. Out of sympathy. You're still doing something out of sympathy. You have to know what that even means, Angela, because there she is. Look up for Rebecca, okay? I think that's that's the other one. We're still looking for Michelle. Anyways, Angela, what does it mean to do something out of sympathy? What does that mean? Amy, what do you think that means, to do something out of sympathy? It's important people begin to understand this, because when you are moved by being oversympathetic, oversympathetic is you let it emotionally soak in, and it just takes and moves you. When you do out of sympathy, spell it right, Brenda. There's certain ways people talk. Out of sympathy is not in agreement with or having an understanding or someone or something. It's clear, however, it is out of sympathy. What does it mean to have, I don't want to say that, out of sympathy? What does it mean? Oh, to feel sorry for someone. Yes! Why can't I find that? Yes! She doesn't need me. Angela's got it now. So, yes. So take that look, Angela, when you have to feel sorry for somebody, what's happening is that energy of look at me, and you don't realize it, how deep that is, okay? Now you can empathize with somebody's doing, but you don't have to lose who you are. That freaks me out. Oh, what page are you on? That's interesting. Hold on, this whole thing just screwed up. Why did I? That's helpful. What does Aunt Michelle want to talk about?
Can you give me any advice? My baby just passed away.
Oh, that's Michelle, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, we will do that. Give me a minute. Let's tune in. Focus on the baby. Focus on that. Bring it through. Now there's Okay, there's a lot of feeling I'm getting from you, but what's interesting is this feeling I'm getting from the baby is going to ask this little soul, are you aware that you are? Yes. So yes. Okay. And what about, okay, so tell me more. Oh, how young? How young? How young? Lots of love, Michelle. Yes. How young? Because the thing about the baby is that the baby knows why it left, and it's not. It's this is the hard part between souls, is that the baby knows it's not dead. It also knows that it had that. It says, "I had to leave that way. I had to leave that way." A lot of people, which is a good thing. If we go a little bit further, hi Sharon. I have become. So don't get too confused between, because I have seen babies. Oh, I froze. Amy, oh shoot. Are you there, Amy? It didn't lag before. Well, here's the thing. Sometimes spirits can cause this. And I have no idea if, okay, it's recording on YouTube, so we'll have to become aware of that. So that's about 1 minute and 57 seconds. Shoot, Michelle. Okay, tell me when we're back, people, because,
Oh,
what?
there, now you're back. Now you're back.
Okay, so now could you get away from the computer, just back up a little bit? Jennifer says there's a lot of pages. Okay, so I'm going to, we're going to have to email, I will finish doing her reading. I will, if I'm, I don't know if you guys can hear me. Michelle Peterson, I've got to know whether we are friends or not. If we are, I will finish up this reading. Hers on YouTube. We're going to end this, and then we're going to put out a message on the page, okay? Ames? Okay, if we can say go to YouTube, that's where I'll be. Go to YouTube. I'll give it another second or two. Angela saw it. I don't know if anybody else saw it. I'm going to leave this up. Can you see me on YouTube?
No.
I'm going to see if my friend can see me on YouTube. Sharon, anybody over there can see me on YouTube?
I'm in right now, too.
So it keeps stopping on YouTube. Michelle. We got to get a hold of Michelle to make sure she knows that I'm going to honor her. And, okay, internet must be really wonky and down.
Okay, but you're still live on,
Okay.
But then how can you and I be communicating?
I have no idea.
Thank you, Spirit.
I have no idea. Go to Medicine Woman Solution. Okay. So Chelsea said it's unfrozen. Okay. Everybody over here, we'll finish up over here, and that's what we'll do. And then if we can find a Michelle. Okay, so
the scavenger hunt is already starting. Yes.
Here I am. Oh my God, I completely have forgot. Okay, so really going to have to pay attention to that screen. It's so tiny. I'm just going to stop the YouTube one. from the end.
Michelle didn't hear any of it. She says.
That's what I figured. Darn.